now that I'm done with the showcase of the box, I guess I can put him back on display. Oh, whoops. Oh no, he fell out the box. I guess I have to review him now. Space Jelly reviews. The box broke for this action figure completely naturally. It didn't have anything to do with it. So I decided to review this Marvel Legends Series 3 ToyBiz Marvel Legends Series 3 Wolverine. This is the Wolverine with his tiger stripes on and the blue shoulder pads. This is a really old figure, so there's not really anywhere you can get this figure at a retail price. But he also doesn't come with any accessories aside from this display stand or this display base. And he comes with a comic book. So when I talk about this action figure, you have to take into account the fact that this figure is 21 years old, and some of the decisions might not have been the best decisions looking back on it, but I still think that he holds up pretty good, especially since ToyBiz is unmatched with sculpted detail and painted detail, though they're not usually super good at the proportioning and some of the weird sculpting and painting decisions. This was a figure from 21 years ago. So take that into account when I talk about the details of the action figure. So we're gonna start off with a comparison. This is him next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends Hercules. This is him next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends 20th Anniversary Iron Man. Here he is next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends First Appearance Spider-Man. Are almost the same height, which is a little weird. I think that Spider-Man should have still been a little bit taller than him. This is him next to the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider from Hasbro. This is from a while ago, though. They're both almost the same height as well. Next to the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. I think this one is appropriately taller. Next to, there's a lot of comparisons. Next to Fortnite Legendary Series, I think, Sky from Hasbro. And lastly, next to the DC Multiverse Azrael. Azrael towers over him. But I think, honestly, the DC Multiverse Azrael kind of fits in the best because he is supposed to be really short. So I think that he's a little bit oversized. As you can see, he's almost 6 inches. And if he were to be 1/6 scale, he'd probably be like 5.5 inches. That would be more aligned with how he's supposed to be. So, hold on, let me do the centimeters. He's 15.5. We'll talk about his display stand. It has some pretty good sculpted detail on it. It's supposed to be kind of replicating the comic book cover. And there's also some hooks over here, or holes over here, for putting this into the wall and displaying him on the wall if you wanted to. So yeah, that one's decent. I liked when they came with whole display stands like that. So talking about the figure, we're gonna zoom in and look at all the details. His face, there's a little bit of paint mishaps on his face, but it's not too bad. You can see the sculpted detail is really nice on his cowl, and the muscle detail is obviously pretty crazy, but he's always in a fixed position. There's no diaphragm joint, there's only a waist twist, so he's always in a pose where he's pulling back his arm like that, and he's flexing his chest over there. Abs, the arms are pretty big. The triceps are huge. So I don't know, I guess it's not incorrect, it's just a thing about him. His legs are pretty big, but I think over the years of him being in the box, he got a little knock-kneed or something. What is it? Not knock-kneed. Bow-legged. And the legs are sculpted good. The back's a little weird, though, because the traps over here have a few lumps in it, and I don't think that's how it's supposed to be shaped. You know, 21-year-old action figure. The proportioning is relatively decent, though, comparing it to other figures by ToyBiz. So yeah, I still think that the ToyBiz action figures, specifically the Marvel Legends, had much more love and care put into them than the more recent Hasbro Marvel Legends. So that's why I like the ToyBiz figures a lot more, because it seems like people cared about them more. Talking about articulation, he has something weird going on. He has a double ball peg in his neck. That allows him to look up pretty far. He doesn't really look down too far, though. He can rotate, and he has pretty good head tilting. But he also has this, I don't know if you can see it, this cut in his neck that also rotates. You can rotate this cut in his neck, and you can make him look down more if you rotate it all the way around, and he can actually look down. But it looks a little weird when you do that, but I guess if you're going to take a photo of him, it won't be too bad. You can adjust the where the camera is. He has a ball hinge for the shoulder. Go up that far. This one goes down that far. This one goes down more because the pec is not stretched out as much. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. He doesn't have a wrist swivel, but he has like a mid forearm swivel. He has a wrist hinge. He has the old finger articulation. He has a waist twist, like I said, no diaphragm cut or anything. Legs go, let me just zoom out. Legs go out pretty far. It's about as far as you'd want it to go. There's no big ball hinges on this one. There's only hinges. Forward that far, back a little bit, mid thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and no boot swivel, but he has like a mid shin swivel, and then he hinges up, ankles hinge down, no real ankle pivot, and a toe hinge. Yeah, so the articulation isn't bad. It's actually pretty good for its time that it came out. And the joints don't really feel loose either, which is pretty rare for ToyBiz Marvel Legends. I think that he'll get into any pose you want just fine. You just won't be able to really crunch him down because he has no torso articulation. But I still think he's a really good action figure. and I'm pretty sure that the pricing has not gone up too high with the resale of this figure. Online, he's like around the same price, maybe a little lower or a little bit higher depending on who's selling it. So I think that if you want this one specifically with more sculpted detail and painted detail than a Hasbro Marvel Legends, I think this is the best way to go. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for liking and subscribing. So see ya. Now that I'm done with the showcase, I guess I can put him back on display. Oh, oh no! It looks like he fell out the box. I guess I have to review him.